Yes, indeed. Welcome into another episode of Total Hockey Now. Yes, Total Hockey Now on a Tuesday instead of a Thursday. American Thanksgiving coming up this week. No games on Thursday. We said there's a big slate tomorrow. For some of us, the night before Thanksgiving, not a good time to try and do a hockey stream past a certain time, Eastern time, as you got to get ready for family and stuff. So we said, let's do today. My line mates, as always, at Ant Rivera 86, at Fuzzy Chris 91. I am at Pucking Thoughts. And only one game tonight. Not a ton to do there with Stars and Oilers. We'll touch on that as that puck's about to drop in a little bit. But with 15 games tomorrow, we're going to run the board and we're going to do our first mock draft since pre-hockey season. Figured, why not? Let's do like a little temperature check at the quarterway point here. We'll see if the draft goes any drastically different. I don't assume that I assume JT Miller will not be in the first 35 picks like previous drafts. So there we go.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, definitely not. I gotta say, quarter of the way through, all three of us in the top five, along with my brother Frank, who's Bros for Ajos, and it's nice to see us at the top of the standings, at the top of the leaderboard, prime for a playoff spot. Hopefully, it continues. And Adam, I had to condolences. I had to take you out this past week.
Yes, you absolutely gave me a good run for my money there and beat me, I think, by like 2 categories this week. Tried to catch you, but couldn't. There we go. Now you're back here. You were frozen there for a minute, but we got you back. But yeah, good win. You know, we're all in the top 5. We'll see if everybody else can try and keep up. But it's a competitive league, that's for sure. Also, Marek checking in. You know, doesn't feel good till Marek checks in. Your brother also checking in. Love the introduction. Kudos to Brian Burns, not the Giants defensive lineman, different Brian Burns that did that. So there we go. Now let's not waste any time here. Let's get into Let's get into the preview. Boys, anything for tonight? We got the Stars at the Oilers. Jake Ottinger going against Stu Skinner here. Looking at the line for tonight on the puck line. The Edmonton Oilers minus a puck and a half plus 180. Favorite on the money line, minus 135. Dallas Road Dogs plus 114. The total is 6.5 here. I really don't have a play on this game. I would lean Stars money line, but because it's, I just can't trust Edmonton goaltending, but I don't have a strong feeling on this one.
That's the thing. Like, I want to take the over 6.5 here when it comes to goals because, Skinner's in net. But then you got Ottinger on the other side, and, he could very well easily pitch a shutout here. So I think I'm staying away from this game.
I think Ottinger hasn't been the Jake Ottinger of previous seasons. He's still good, but he hasn't been like top 5 good this year.
I was also thinking maybe the over, but then Mikko Rantanen's decided to turn into prime Tom Wilson and get himself suspended. So that's one body out of the lineup that can produce. Somebody should get Mikko Rantanen some of the, I don't know, like a diffuser, something to help him calm some nerves. He's been on an absolute tear here, just hitting players from behind and getting himself caught up with the fine. He's on the naughty list. Like Shannon, he was doing good for 11 months, and all of a sudden the rage is taken over. So, yeah, I got nothing here to. Who knows what Stuart Skinner is going to do? Who knows what the Oilers are going to do in general? But it wouldn't shock me if it ends up being an absolute barn burner. I just don't want to get caught up in a 2-1 final.
Now, the Oilers are playing tonight. They're one of the 2 teams off tomorrow. The Kings are the other team off tomorrow. So we're going to have 30 of the 32 teams. Dallas will be playing the Kraken in Seattle tomorrow night. Get to that game later. But I guess, let's get right to the Wednesday picks here. Like we said, we don't have anything strong about the one lone NHL game tonight. Let's talk a little Bruins Islanders tomorrow. Now, unfortunately, we don't have starting goalies for a lot of these because the NHL, when they come back on Friday, there's a bunch of teams playing both Friday and Saturday. I would assume you're going to get most of your starting goalies tomorrow night, with the exception of Dallas, your primary 1A, because they'll have a chance to play the backup on the back-to-back that a lot of teams have Friday and Saturday. So when we're looking at these games, we're assuming that the starting goalies, in this case, would be Sorokin versus Swayman for the Bruins and the Islanders tomorrow. So that's the line. That's the anticipated starting goal matchup there. In terms of on the money line, at least right now, looking at the Bruins, they're plus 140. Road Dogs, Islanders minus 166 favorites. Totals 5.5 here. For me on this one, I've got nothing on this one to start off.
Yeah, I agree. I got nothing either.
Man, I can't swallow the New York Islanders with that money line. That is just too much. It's a lot of disrespect to the Boston Bruins, who have been playing a lot better of
They
late.
have been.
I get Ilya Sorokin's on an absolute heater here. I would have felt better if this total was at like 6, because then I would have taken the under. But both games have gone over the last 2 times these teams have met. If I use the flawed logic of you, Adam, it should be an under. But that doesn't work. So I'm just going to stay away from it as well.
Glad you're not using my flawed logic that I will apply to a game coming up here very shortly. Chris Dreams afternoon games. And yeah, I mean, Friday we'll have some afternoon hockey. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow it's all 7 o'clock and later Eastern puck drops. But Friday and Saturday there'll definitely be some afternoon hockey. So their first game off the board, Bruins at Islanders. Chris is going to take the Bruins money line. Nope, nobody else here has got anything in terms of that one. Now, next up on the list, we got the Maple Leafs at the Blue Jackets. Again, assuming it's the primary goaltenders, it'll be Joseph Wall going against Jet Greaves. And Chris recently, not too long ago, mentioned my stupid rule of opposites. Toronto and Columbus played, last week? That game went under. Recent enough that I'm going over, despite the fact that it's Wall and Greaves. Wall has allowed 10 over his last 4 starts, assuming he gets that start tomorrow. So I think, again, more of a gut feeling, but I'm going to take the over 6.5 here at, what did we say that one was at? I lost it. There we go. Minus 105.
That's fair. Listen, the Toronto Maple Leafs have exactly one win on the road this season. So the fact that we are getting the Columbus Blue Jackets at a very decent number at home, where they have had success. Zach Werenski seems to be fine. He left last game, a little bit of a scare. Said, okay. I took a deep breath because I have a lot of Zach Werenski around my fantasy leagues. I listen, the Toronto Maple Leafs are just horrendous in every way, shape, or form. They can't defend. Joseph Wall, my poor guy, he got absolutely hammered by the Montreal Canadiens, which is something because they don't hammer anybody. I'm gonna take Columbus in regulation. This game it can't be close. Toronto can't score. It doesn't sound like Austin Matthews is going to play. He was wearing a gray jersey at practice, which I understand is for the scratches. So it's going to be high scoring, but it's going to be high scoring only for one team. So I'm taking Columbus in regulation there so I can steal some plus money.
That is plus 115. If you're looking to just take them on the money line, minus 125. If you think the Leafs will get it home, plus 105. And like you said, total 6.5. Any leans here from Tony Rivers?
The last 2 weeks, I've went 2 and 3. So I got to be very strategic with the games that I'm picking. I'm staying away from this one as well.
Yes, but you still are over 500 for the season at 22 and 15. I'm at 29 and 20. Chris hovering around 500 here, looking to get back over. Let's see. Next up on the docket here for the tomorrow's games, we're looking at the Flyers and the Panthers. Again, assuming it's going to be, it's Tarasov just went against Nashville, so let's assume Bobrovsky's going to go for Florida, and Vladar is going to go for Philly. Looking at this one on the money line here, the Flyers are plus 142 road dogs. Panthers minus 170 home favorites. Totals 5.5. Panthers are very strong at home. They're 8-3-1. I'm going to take them to win in regulation at minus 120. That's probably going to go up by the time puck drop happens tomorrow. So the money line's already at minus 170. Flyers are average on the road. Florida just beat the doors off the Predators. I thought that game would be an under. Silly me. And I think they're going to ride that momentum to a win. Flyers probably keep it close, and I would lean under if you're looking for a total, but I do like the Panthers at home in regulation tomorrow, minus 120.
The Philadelphia Flyers, I had them winning in regulation against an AHL team called the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are missing so many bodies. Like Braden Point isn't in there. Nikita Kucherov was a little bang up. Anthony Cirelli down the middle on the top line. No offense to Anthony Cirelli, but he's not a top line player. And then they come out and they just do nothing. They do absolutely nothing. The Flyers are a joke of a franchise. That team can't score. They don't know what to do. They couldn't beat an AHL team. I can't imagine them going into Sunrise and trying to beat the Panthers, who are I would say they're not healthy, but they're not as banged up as Tampa Bay. So I'm with you, Adam, here. I'm going to take Florida in regulation. You should probably do it right now. If you want to tail that, do it now. That number will move once people realize what's happening. If you can capitalize on the on the overnight market, go ahead and do so. Because I don't know, man. Flyers are they can cure insomnia.
By the way, this is their third and final meeting of the season already. So familiar foes heading into Thanksgiving here.
Mm.
I don't think I have put anything down on any Flyers game so far, and I'm going to keep that trend going for this as well.
Smart man.
We stay away.
All right. So we are 3 games in here. We already got a few picks there. Still in that 7. That's a heavy 7:00 Eastern slate. They did give us a good staggered start time with the Wild Blackhawks at 8:30 Eastern. So, and Canadians Mammoth, we'll get to those games later. So we do have a couple of staggers there. Frank checking in. Wait, is my brother's the devil? He made the same mistake I made, Frank. I thought when he first came on, I looked, then I realized it was orange and it was a Mets jersey in the style of the Rangers there. Yeah, I would never assume Anthony. If Anthony was wearing that, I'd be like, "You okay, man? You good to go on the air today?"
I would have checked that out. Frank, this is the local book here in the province of Quebec that nobody bets on, but I feel like it's apropos when we talk about, picks to make that I at least rock. If you're betting on Mesoger, you can, but there are probably other books that you should probably target first. That being said, though, if Mesoger wants to sponsor this part, I don't think they will because we do it in English, but hey, I'll accept the money.
We have so many sponsors we're trying to get hooked onto this show. Just so many.
My French is very limited. I think I could count to 10. Like say hello and farewell. I know my name is Adon. French. That's about it. That's all I
there
got.
You go. That honestly, that's great. You're off to a fantastic start.
I think I could get by.
You get away with it.
You got Flames at Lightning staying in the state of Florida, 7:00, another 7:00 Eastern puck drop, assuming it's going to be Dustin Wolf versus Andrei Vasilevsky here. I'm looking at the money line on this one. This Lightning heavy home favorites, -192, Calgary +160 on the road, total 5.5. I like the under in this one, as Chris mentioned, how banged up the Lightning are. The Flames seem to have found their way a little bit, at least temporarily, winning their last 3 games. They've been scoring at a little bit of a higher clip than their previous pitiful pace, but no, I don't think that's keeping up. Dustin Wolf seems to have gotten a little bit better here and have settled down recently with Vasilevsky going likely. The Flames could also be a little sluggish on offense here, after a cross-continental flight coming out from the West Coast here. I know they've had one quick stop in Vancouver before coming out. I'll take the under in this one, 5.5.
Man, I can't do it. I can't do it. The Calgary Flames have been playing a lot better of late. They're finding the back of the net. In Tampa Bay, by the way, they sit atop the Atlantic Division, and this is a team that is banged up. I know the Atlantic is like everybody's sardine together. I get it. This was a team that had a horrendous start to the year. They're down so many key bodies, and they're still winning. Like, winners win. That's what it is. If you ever look at your favorite team and wonder why they don't win hockey games, it's because they're not winners. The Tampa Bay Lightning are winners. They know what it takes to get done. I could see this game going absolutely bazonkers. Again, I would have felt better if this was a 6 total, and maybe if I wait till the morning and I see that number go up, then I'll play the under. Just 5.5. I just feel like that empty net goal is going to ruin it. So I'm just not going to do anything here.
Way to approach it.
You're not, but I will. And I'm joining Adam here. I'm taking the under 5.5 as well. Everything that was mentioned. Vasilevsky versus Wolf. Flames have trouble scoring. The injuries to all those offensive pieces to the Lightning make me think that we are getting the under when it comes to those goals being scored tonight.
Tomorrow night. I mean,
tomorrow night. Yes. Tomorrow night.
If they're playing tonight, they might want to get on the rink real soon. So they got 56 minutes till puck drop, till anthem at least. So there we go. Flames. We're still in the 7:00 Eastern. By the way, Chris talked about the sardine division. You got 7 points between Tampa and Toronto from top to bottom. The Metropolitan at 6 points between Carolina and the Rangers. We'll talk about that game in a couple of minutes here. In the Pacific, it's 10 points between Anaheim and Calgary, and then as you would suspect in a division with the Avalanche at the top and the Predators at the bottom. 21-point gap there between top and bottom. That's a wide one.
That's how bad the Predators are, and that's how good Colorado is. Man, look at the parity in the NHL, though. So many teams just clogged up, which probably means there's going to be a lot of buyers. So this is a good seller's market for the Predators, who should probably unload that entire roster.
Yes, if you told me who do you think is going to finish with the worst record in the NHL this year right now, it's probably Nashville. Like Calgary can't continue to be as bad as they have to at least even off a little bit, whereas what you see is what you get with the Predators right now. Like there's just like I almost dropped, like I said, if Jesper Wallstedt was available, I was going to drop Saros for him straight up before Wallstedt went on the run he's been on. We'll talk about that later. But speaking of the Predators, they are at the Red Wings tonight. Wednesday. I made the same mistake Anthony did there. Assuming it's going to be Cam Talbot versus UC Saros. For me, I'm going to take the Red Wings here in regulation at -110. If you want, the money line is starting to go up a little too much there. That game got disappeared. Where did it go now? There we go. -162, +136 for the Predators. Totals 5.5. I like them in regulation, -110. Things got feisty the other night at the end of Devils Red Wings, by the way. That was enjoyable to watch. Predators, to me, they're on the fade until further notice list. Like, there's no reason to think that they're going to win. Just fade them whenever you can. They're coming off an embarrassing 8-3 loss. Now, sometimes I like to take a team coming off an embarrassing loss like that because pride, want to bounce back. This team's pathetic. There is no reason to have any positivity about the Nashville Predators right now. Red Wings tend to be a little bit of a bully and beat up on bad teams. So I think that regulation value also probably lose money between today and tomorrow. Just like we were telling you earlier with the Panthers in the regulation -120, Red Wings probably a little bit similar there.
You said 5.5 for the total?
Correct.
I will take the over here on this. 6, 9, and 3 with the 8.89 save percentage for UC Saros. What in the world happened to this guy who's like probably one of the top goalies, maybe even last season, the season before? You'd be drafting him really early on in drafts, and he's just come down to earth. You were right. That Red Wings Devils game had all the action. The Red Wings just fighting to just try to, keep up with the Devils scoring. They couldn't do it. With Cam Talbot in net, he gave up 4 goals, and the fact that the Predators gave up 8 goals to Florida in their last game. I think it's an easy choice for me to take the over here.
Yeah, Barry Trotz comes out and says, "I need more from my team," so they reward him by giving up 8 goals.
They scored 3, which is a lot for them.
Hey, listen. There you go. It's like that meme. There's that one where it's like Chris Paul like gets a 3-pointer. It's like cuts the lead to like 40. Like that's basically what the Predators are now. They are so bad. They got the wheels beat off them, right? And now they go into Detroit. That Detroit can score goals. They can definitely pound the net. So I'm going to go with Tony Rivers here. I'm going to take the over as well. I'm going to get a 5.5 at the before the overnight market. Absolutely, this is one where it plays in our favor, man. The whole mortgage. I want you put the turkey, you put the gravy, you put the mash, you put the maggot, you put literally everything, which means that this game is going to end 2-1. But as of now, I'm 100% correct. So smash.
And if you want to go puck line, +160 for the Red Wings to cover there. So I made the over, and maybe the regulation is a nice little way to parlay that perhaps. We got State of Survival asking a question. Do you ever do multi-day bets? Not usually, because like nobody wants to go to sleep with a bet hanging in the balance. I mean, if I add something late and then there's like, a next day early puck drop because I'm on the West Coast, but I mean, extremely rare circumstance to do a multi-day bet.
Not for the same sport, because sometimes, so like in this is a perfect example. We're going to benefit from some of the overnight action and market, right? So if you expect a goalie to start, or you expect one to not, there's a lot of 5.5 totals, which is not something that the NHL will have. So sometimes when it opens, the line will shift quickly. And if I'm doing it for NHL, sometimes I want to either take it immediately or let the market correct itself and see if I can find an edge there. So if you could probably do hockey and like football if you're doing any of the Thursday ones, but
yeah.
I
Yeah.
won't do hockey on 2 nights in a row for the same reason. I'm just trying to get the maximum value depending on when I'm looking at it.
The other thing too, like, I mean, there are people that don't want to, like, on betting on a football Sunday, they don't want to mix 1 o'clock games and 4 o'clock games. So, like, yeah, it's over a couple of days is a little rough. So let's see here. We've gone through 5 of the games already. Next up on the list here, my New York Rangers. They're going to be in Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow. One of the many 7 o'clock Eastern puck drops here. Assuming it'll be Shesterkin, I guess, against Kochetkov, maybe Freddie Anderson. I mean, I don't think it really matters who Carolina starts because the Rangers are just. I know they just beat the Blues 3-2. Good for you. You barely beat the Blues at home. Congratulations. The other team,
they won at home though.
they won at home, but
Making
Carolina
progress.
Carolina minus 180, Rangers plus 150, totals 5.5 here. I'm taking the Hurricanes on the puck line plus 136. The Rangers stink. They're not as bad as the Predators. There's no reason to, like, again, fine, they won. They won at home. Good for them. They beat the Blues. Congrats. I don't, there's nothing about this team right now that makes me think they show pride or anything like that. I think they're just going to skate into their turkey tomorrow night, and Carolina's going to cruise. That's what I think.
I would take the under here. I'm comfortable with it at the 5.5 number. If you can get it at the 6, it's probably better. But the last time these two teams met, it was 3-0. Now the Rangers were at home, and this was at the time of life where they couldn't score. They still can't. But JT Miller's out of the lineup. Vincent Trocheck played last game, but he was a game time decision. He's out there a lot. Like he's trucking away. He's doing everything. He's winning a ton of faceoffs. He's playing a ton of minutes. The rest of that team's kind of not following him because Miller's out in the lineup. They moved Zibanejad back into the middle. I mean, we know that Mika's no longer a centerman in the NHL, so there's too much here. Igor's been good, right? I don't really worry about who's going to start for Carolina, just because as long as it's not Freddie Anderson, it should be good. So I'll go with the under here, 5.5. I just don't think that Carolina's going to come out and just, destroy the Rangers on the road when they've been pretty decent. They did lose their last 2 games on the road. It's fine. They're still a much better team away from the Garden.
The other thing I'll add is that this is their first meeting of the season, but Carolina swept all 4 meetings and smacked them around a couple of times last year.
No, Carolina played them earlier in November.
In the one of the first games, I think it was one of the first games where the Rangers could not score at home. One of those first couple of games there.
One of those.
I'm right there with Chris. I'm taking the under 5.5 here. I don't think Carolina scores as much, especially with Shesterkin in net. So the only person I'd like to see score from the Rangers is Will Kulig, because he's helped me out big time on my fantasy team. So I'm going to need that against my brother Frank in there.
Brother versus brother on Thanksgiving week. In the previous episode, Frank says that this was his favorite podcast, not Subway to Shea. So be a lot. It's going to be a lot.
They're going to be sitting on the opposite side of the table at Thanksgiving, just staring down each other.
It's going to be some. Usually, you don't have beef at Thanksgiving, but there will be at this house. Next up on the docket, we got Blues at Devils here. So if Joel Hofer went on Monday, let's assume it's Binnington versus Jacob Markstrom, although they could go Jake Allen because I know they're trying to keep it easy with Markstrom to a degree here. Looking at the lines here on the game, Devils minus 142 home favorites, Blues plus 120, totals 5.5. I got nothing on this one. I'm staying away. Maybe I would lean under, but I've got nothing.
Yeah, the goaltending for both of these teams is so volatile right now, no matter who's in net, that I can't get a good read on, what to take here when it comes to goals. Because if I do the over, we're going to get under. We're going to get like prime Jake Allen or prime Jacob Markstrom, even Jordan Binnington. If I take the under, then they're going to give up so many goals. So I'm going to stay away from this game tonight.
New Jersey's 8-0-1 at home, so we're gonna take New Jersey. You can probably go as far as taking them in regulation. I do think the money line is still it's pretty good. It's still under 150, which I think is generous because we're getting it early. That's where I'll stop. But I will say this: I believe Jake Allen is going to get the start here. if it was Markstrom and I was like really sure about it, Markstrom's given up like three or more goals in almost like in every start except one or something, I would have taken the over without thinking about it. But and it's right. Jake Allen could come out, have himself one of those nights. I'm not trusting the Blues on the road. I'm not trusting the Blues in general. But I don't think they're going to go into the Rock there and come out with a win when nobody has been able to beat Devils in regulation. So I'm going to take the Devils in regulation, steal some value there.
Minus 105. You can get that at DraftKings right now for a Devils regulation win. Shrewd play there. Next up, we got the Sabres at the Penguins. Who knows who the Sabres are going to start because they have 3 different goalies they could throw out there. Penguins also a little bit of an interesting mix right now. I don't have a pick on this game, but I could lean at the Penguins money line minus 120. Just because they've been a better team overall this season than Buffalo, but just a lean here. No official play for me.
Sabres have 1 road win, so like I want to take Pittsburgh. I want to feel some excitement in my life. The problem is I feel like Sheeloff is going to get the start, and he's been okay. Penguins just haven't played well recently. All of a sudden, Buffalo went out there and decided they know how to win hockey games, but most of those wins came at home, and their 1 win that they did pick up on the road was on the 15th against Detroit. It took them some overtime. So I will take the Penguins in regulation as well. I think there's a lot of good value there. They're a better team on home ice. I'm going to have to swallow, Sheelov's here and just hope he can play well. And this is more a testament to Buffalo being unable to score and their absolutely putrid play on the road.
I'm passing. Sorry, guys. Got to pass on that one.
You know what? I'm gonna switch the Penguins to an official play on the money line here, minus 120. They've struggled, but you know what? Those two games they struggled with back-to-backs in their first games back since playing overseas in Sweden. A little bit of an adjustment period, so maybe now a little home cooking against the Sabres. I don't worry about Thanksgiving's the next day. There's really no look ahead spot there. They go to Columbus and then Toronto, or come back home for Toronto. So yeah, Sabre, give me the Penguins money line minus 120, and that one. Chris is going to take them in regulation. Next up, Jets at Capitals here, 7:00 Eastern puck drop. Assuming it'll be Logan Thompson and Eric Comrie, obviously with Connor Hellebuck going on the IR. So maybe that's a chance to jump on the Capitals. Already up to minus 155 on the money line. Total is 6.5. Looking for more of a regulation play there for the Capitals. Minus 105. So I don't have a play on this game. I could lean over, maybe Caps regulation with no Hellebuck, but maybe you get a plucky little Winnipeg team that's trying to prove they can win without Hellebuck, but I'm staying away.
I'm going to take the over 6.5 here in total goals. The Capitals have scored 3 or more goals in their last 4 games. They scored 7 against the Oilers, 8, unfortunately, against Chris's Canadiens, and 5 against the Blue Jackets here. With Hellebuck not being, able to play and being out with Comrie and net, I'm going to think that they can score some goals here, but I also think it could go the other way as well. If we finally got a good game from Logan Thompson on Monday, and you never know with him right now. He's really had a struggle over the past couple of weeks, and this is his first real good game in a while. And even if they throw Charlie Lindgren in net, goals are going to be scored on that. So I'm going to take the over 6.5.
I like it.
I agree with everything you say, but I'm not going to back that.
So Ant's the only one touching Jets Capitals over 6.5 tomorrow. We move. So those are the 7:00 Eastern puck drops. We now go to 8:30 Eastern. The Wild at the Blackhawks here. Assuming it's going to be Jesper Wallstedt versus Spencer Knight here. Looking on the money line here for the Blackhawks. They are plus 114 home underdogs. Minnesota currently minus 135 road favorites, total 5.5. I'm going to take the Wild in regulation here. They're riding a 5-game winning streak, which includes wins over the Ducks, Golden Knights, and Hurricanes. For as worried as we were about the Wild the first month of the season, Jesper Wallstedt has been on fire lately. I just missed the boat. Shout out Chris Wassel for grabbing him. So he's become the driving force behind that. The Blackhawks, who were the early darlings of the season, now they've lost 3 in a row. 2 of those are 1-goal games, I know. But as long as Jesper Wallstedt continues to play this way, it's tough for me to pick against him. So I'm going to ride that here. You could go wild money line, still some value at minus 135. That's actually come down from when I was handicapping before. I had at minus 142. I would also look at the under here too, with it being a likely Spencer Knight versus Jesper Wallstedt matchup.
Yeah, that's a pretty safe one there. I'll go with the under as well. I mean, it's hard to win games when you can't score, and the Wild have figured it out. I don't know what both those goalies have been eating, but it's working. But Wallstedt is just like, he is a brick wall. Nothing is getting through him. It doesn't matter how many shots he faces. And for Chicago is a better team on home ice. I don't think I need to describe that any way than if you look at their last 2 games. They go into Buffalo, get the wheels beat off them by the Sabres. Then they come home, and yes, they lose to Colorado. I get it, but they only gave up 1 goal. And Spencer Knight makes this team a whole lot better. This has all the makings of a tight hockey game. This
2-1.
Something like that. Something in that range. 3-2. I'd probably feel I'd want to wait, maybe get the 6, but if you don't want to wait and you want to take a little bit, steal a little bit of value here, you can take the under 5.5 and you'll be just fine.
I'm good.
And it's passing. All right.
Yeah,
I thought we were gonna have
on
a
that
3 under pick here. I thought we were gonna all be on the same page, but
Yeah.
Ant doesn't want to. That's fine. That's fine. All right. We move on to the next game. Sharks at Avalanche. Fresh off of I went to my first Shark game of the season. Annabelle got to meet SJ Sharkey. That was great.
Nice.
So they have this thing where like you could fill out like a form, like, hey, I'm gonna be at this game in this section in this row, and there's no guarantees, but they add you to a list, and he ended up showing up. So it was great. Got to watch him play the Senators the other night. But tomorrow night, they'll be heading to Colorado to take on the Avalanche. Assuming it's going to be Yaroslav Askarov, who's been lights out lately, going against one of the Woods, whether that's Wedgwood or Blackwood. Looking at the money line, Colorado minus 375, Sharks plus 295, total 6.5 in this one. I'm staying away. I could see it going over, but I don't want to do that with the way Askarov's playing right now. Like, even if Colorado wins, I think San Jose might keep it close. What you could do is look at San Jose plus 1.5 plus 120. But even then, with the way the Avalanche are playing right now, so it's a stay away from me. But those are things I would consider.
Yeah, that's the thing. It could go over, but like you said, the way Askarov's been playing and the way Colorado, I tend to lean with you, man. No way.
I know that Askarov has been playing better, but the Colorado Avalanche have one weakness, and it's their power play. If for whatever reason it's not connecting as it should, but they lead almost every single offensive category. They also are elite defensively. They do not give up a lot of shots, yet they generate shots at the highest level. The San Jose Sharks give up a lot of scoring chances. So if you're going to give Nathan MacKinnon opportunities to beat you, he's going to. He is going to pound it into the ground. The Sharks are led by Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith. Askarov, again, has played better, but there's only so much you can ask a goalie. It's not fantastic value here. I would take the under. I think under 6.5. Askarov could maybe help keep this game close. The Avalanche haven't given up a goal in their last 2 games. I know they played Nashville. I get it. But they are rock solid right now. They do not give up scoring chances. So I would take the under. If you want to take Colorado's puck line, you can. It's not great value, but again, they've been just smashing their opponents. But the under is where I would play it. Under 6.5, the way Askarov is playing, and like Adam said, who knows which Wood gets to go, but even if it's Mackenzie Blackwood, he proved that he could play well, and Scott Wedgwood has been fantastic this season. So under for sure. And if you want to get cool, you can play the puck line. And if you want to do a parlay of it, why not? You know what I mean? Live life to the edge.
Quick update: the Sabres likely going to go with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen tomorrow, so that's one side of the Sabres Penguins game. But that doesn't change my play. I still like the Penguins on the money line there. We're breezing. We got 4 games to go here. 9:30 Eastern puck drop. We'll see if Chris can make it to the end of this one or not. I think you can. We do have a confirmed starting goalie for this one. It's going to be Jakub Dobes going for the Canadians. We don't know about the Mammoth. Let's assume Karel Vejmelka there. Looking at the money line there, the Mammoth minus 142 home favorites, the Canadians plus 120. Total is 6.5. I'm staying away from this one. I don't got anything here. Maybe the under, but again, I got nothing.
It's too much risk here. It's too much risk. I want to feel good. Dobes getting the start. This is a back-to-back start for him. I think Marty St. Louis has figured it out. He's got to let one goalie kind of run a little bit here. He has decided to do that. Alexander Texier has joined the Montreal Canadiens. We'll see if he plays. Montreal beat Toronto, but most teams beat Toronto. I don't know if they've figured out the sauce just yet. Utah is really good at home. 7-2-1. They won their last 2 games. They beat the Rangers, which is good, but they also beat Vegas, and they absolutely just, handed it to them. There's not enough here for me to go with the under. I can't trust Dobes just yet. I can't trust Montreal to win. And I don't know if the Mammoth are real just yet. So I'm just going to enjoy this game. It's 9:30. I'll be up. I'll be good.
Yeah, another pass.
Yes. Listen, it's not about making a lot of picks. It's about feeling good about the ones you make. So, and that's I understand that was a stay away spot for me too. So we got 3 games to go here. Good news is we got a mock draft coming up in about 5 minutes here. Boys, I just put the link in the private chat. I'm going to put it in the main chat for everybody else in case they want to join. It's now in the main chat. We'll do a 12-teamer. Clearly, I'm picking 12th. So we'll breeze through these last 3 games here in the last 5 minutes. All 10 o'clock puck drops here. I've got a pick or a lean for all 3. Let's start with the Canucks at the Ducks. Going to rhyme here. Assuming it's going to be Lucas Dostal going against Kevin Lankinen. But the Canucks goaltending situation is miserable right now. They've lost 3 straight. They failed to cover the puck line in all 3 losses here. So, I'm taking the Ducks minus a puck and a half plus 164. They have been in some closer affairs as of late, but this is a big mismatch here. You're talking about the top team in the Pacific versus one of the bottom teams in the Pacific. No Demko. I'm attacking them as often as I can here. So plus 164 for the Ducks. You might have to sweat the empty netter out, but I'm taking it.
I don't know if I don't want to go all the way to the puck line. I'll take them in regulation, though. Vancouver they've been getting their wheels beat off them. Again, they gave up 8 to Florida. They gave up 4 to Dallas. They gave up 5 to Calgary. Imagine giving up 5 goals to the Flames. It's just not going well. The Ducks have been in some overtime games here, but I just don't think Vancouver has enough in the tank to kind of keep this close. They also don't have a very good penalty kill. The Vancouver Canucks have a penalty kill sub 70%. So if they get in trouble, they start taking penalties, the Ducks will find the back of the net and they'll make them pay. So in regulation, good enough for me.
I'll take the over on this.
I like
the Canucks have had a lot of goals scored against them, and the Ducks like to score goals, so it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, this will be one that I'm as I'm doing final Thanksgiving. I mean, my wife does most of the cooking on Thanksgiving. Christmas is more my holiday to cook. She does most of the Thanksgiving. I got to make the sweet potato, yams, whatever.
You're the sides guy?
I'm more of the sides guy, yeah. I mean, so doing that tomorrow, but that'll be a game I have on while we're doing that. 2 more games to go here before we get to our first mock in months here. We got the Senators at the Golden Knights here. The goalies, your guess is as good as mine with the injuries with right now with Aiden Hill. So it could be Schmid, it could be Lindbergh. Looking at the Senators, Marolainen, Omark. What I'm going to do here is I think the Golden Knights are going to win this game. And the Golden Knights in their last 4 victories have held their opponents under this total when they've won. So with that logic, and the fact that the Senators are a little bit of a heavier team, they're not a flashy skill team. I just watched them on Saturday against the Sharks. I think the Senators, they've been on the road for a little bit. Maybe it catches up with them. they're not a high scoring team to begin with. So yeah, give me the under 5.5 plus 110 here.
I'm just going to stay away from this game. The Sens have played well though in California, so good for them. They're keeping it close. Carolina got the start against the Kings, so I'm expecting Allmark to get the start in this one. I don't know, man. Vegas, just figure yourselves out. Are you going to be good or are you going to be terrible? But pick one so I can decide if I root with you or against you. They've refused to do that, so I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this one on the late night.
I'll do the same. I'll sit back, crack open a Molson, and just watch from the sidelines.
There you go. This is not going to, of the 3 10 o'clock games, this is probably the one I would least likely watch of the 3. Canucks, Ducks, and then our last one here. Stars at Kraken, 10 o'clock Eastern, wraps that up. Jake Ottinger going tonight, so for against Edmonton. So let's assume it's going to be Casey Smith going against Joey Decord tomorrow. Looking on the money line here, as DraftKings loves to take them off the board right as I go to the games, and go little refresh action. Kraken plus 120 home underdogs, Stars minus 142 road favorites, totals 5.5. Mentioned the goaltenders there. If you like either in regulation, Dallas plus 105, Kraken plus 180. You know, sometimes it's a matter of pride. And the Kraken haven't beaten the Stars since not last season, the season before. So they've been close. They've been getting closer. Dallas is going to be on a back-to-back, busy week, 3 games in 4 days. I'll take the Kraken money line plus 120. Have some pride, boys. Beat the Stars.
I think because it's a back-to-back, because we're going to get to Smith, I'm not going to do anything on this one. But I tend to agree. I think this is a huge opportunity for the Kraken to finally get that win.
Yeah, that's just modern delusion right there. I mean, Seattle can't score. They can't score. They don't generate offense. Their power play is terrible. Like, even if they did get this Smith, they don't know what to do with it. Like, what is it in that movie? What is it, The Dark Knight, when the Joker's like, I wouldn't even know what to do if I caught it. That's exactly Seattle. Even if they did figure out how to score goals, what are they going to do when they get there? So I'm not going to do anything here. But if you did, it would probably be on Dallas.
All right.
Because listen, if anything, Mikko Rantanen comes back, and if I'm a Seattle player, be careful. I'm going to get drilled from behind. So, or not, who knows?
I don't know when Mikko Rantanen became that kind of player, and everybody's allowed to have their one incident, I guess. But yeah, that was not
third in the NHL in penalties. He's third.
That was not a nice thing he did to Alexander Romanov, who's going to be out 5 to 6 months. No bueno. No bueno.
No.
But the good news is we've gone through all 15 games. We talked about tonight's Stars-Oilers game to lead things off. We are about 30 or so seconds away here. I remember to turn draft sounds off. We're going to do a mid-season mock here, okay? So
you are in early season form, turning the sound off. Look at you go.
Boom. All right, now I could get this off the screen so that way my picks don't get spoiled. Let's do that. Now, the important thing is you want to sort by stats for this year. So it won't let you.
No.
They don't let you do that.
Oh, that changes things entirely. Oh, I don't like that at all.
Does it?
Like current stats. That's a bummer. We may have to go to ESPN. All right. So Ant's on the clock at pick 4, Chris at 7 or 8, excuse me, and me at 12. So everybody's in their usual positions. I have a feeling we'll be taking our time. These picks. Ant doesn't waste any time. It takes Kel McCarr. So it goes McDavid, Draisaitl, McKinnon, McCarr, Kucherov, Kaprizov, Vasilevsky, Chris on the clock.
Just to state, we're all, wow. We are 3 apart.
This is the second best goal scorer in the NHL. Come on down, Macklin.
All right.
You're elite now.
All right, you know what I'm going to do here? Willie Nylander's still producing. So even though Toronto stinks, Willie Nylander's still getting it done. So I'll take him. And then on the turn here, I mean, it's a good spot to still get Quinn Hughes here. I'll take Quinn Hughes. I'm going to have to pull up like a stat screen here so I could, for like my tie-breaking decisions here. All right, so to close out the first round, I took Nylander, open up the second round, Hughes. Austin Matthews goes, Kyle Connor goes, Jake Attinger goes, and Fuzzy Chris back on the clock here. Took some Celebrini in the first round. And listen,
taking his other Canadian friend.
Are they both going to make Canada for the Olympics?
If they don't end up in Milan, then something is wrong. Then you just don't like what this is. Then it becomes galaxy braiding. Then it's just coaches trying to galaxy this. These are two very good players, and their defensive metrics are not bad. Okay, bring the kids, bring the skill. We can leave some of those old vets at home. It's fine. They've did their part.
All right, so the second round, Hughes, Matthews, Connor, Ottinger, Chris Takes Bedard, Igor Shesterkin. So Team 7 doubling up on the goalies. Braden Point, way too early to take him this year. Mitch Marner, and then Ant gets Marty Natchez as he's on the clock with his third-round pick. Zach Werenski, Sidney Crosby, Artemi Panarin close out round 2. Sam Reiner, Matt Boldy, Evan Bouchard, and Philip Forsberg is Ant takes.
Yeah, that was not.
That was an auto pick that clocked out on you?
Yes, sir.
That happens. What are you going to do? All right. Yeah, the picks are moving here. So I am back on the clock here. Let's see if there's any. Oh, I know who I'm taking here. Think of my boy in Anaheim, Leo Carlson.
That's a good one.
Tied for 6th in scoring, 11 goals, 18 assists, wins face-offs, does a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, how do you not take him there? And then who's on the board here? I mean, let's see here. Help if I got that out of there.
Ooh, I was allergic to that pick.
I apologize.
That's a good one, though.
Maybe I'll take Jack Hughes here. Nope, too late. And I take over. Damn it. Philip Gustafson. I got auto-picked. That's the problem, because you can't sort by I wish they would let you sort by current stats. But Gustafson, which is a terrible pick to open up round 4 by me. Ovechkin, Stutzla, Miller, Tage Thompson, who I was going to take, but I ran out of time. Adrian Kempe, Lane Hudson, Clayton Keller. We are out of form right now. Elias Pettersson, Dylan Larkin, Jesper Bratt. Brandon Hagel closes out round 4. Nico Hischier, Aiden Hill, Cole Caulfield open up the first 3 picks of round 5 with Ant back on the clock. Morgan Geeky, Rupe Hintz, Wyatt Johnson, Sebastian Aho. Good pick with you there. It's overlooked.
You know, the Rangers are terrible, but, you know, this guy's doing okay. So,
I mean, somebody has to, right?
Somebody's got to be decent in New York.
All right. Looking at I could tell you one defenseman I'm definitely not taking is Mackenzie Weegar, who has not done anything offensively. All right, give me Josh Morrissey. And wait on that. You know, the wings got thin real quick, I got to say. At least on the left side. But I need to have something else from there. Give me Seth Jarvis.
That's a good pick.
Hey, listen, I thought his production would go down this year, but because he's playing on the wing more, but whatever. He's still making it happen for Carolina. Darcy Kemper goes after him. Mackenzie Weegar, Tom Wilson. Now Chris is on the clock in round 6.
I got some choices to make here, don't I? Let's start here. Start with Jake Sanderson.
3 defensemen in your first 4 picks.
No, 3 out of 6.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the 3 of the last 4. Sorry, 3 out of 4.
Yes, I'm not going to get away from what's made me successful.
It's been a couple of months. I'm not in proper mock form right now. Let's see. After so Ant gets Gauthier there. It's a solid pick in the 6th round. Lucas Raymond, Kirill Marchenko, Nikolai Ehlers rounds out the 6th round. Harley, Nichushkin, Sorokin, Schaefer, Ant's killing it like he always does. Dylan Strome, Jordan Kyrou, Kevin Fiala. Chris on the clock here.
Yeah, that's who I wanted. I wanted a little piece there of Shafe Daddy, but I'm not going to get it. I'm going to go here with. I'm going to take Dylan Gunther.
All right, let's see what I can do. What's You know what? Let's see here. I was going to take Tom Wilson, but he's gone already. Yeah, it's not easy when it's the rankings are not the way we're going. You know what? He hasn't had the best season, but I'll take an upside on Mishkov there at pick 84. Why not? Goalie's also starting to get thin here, but I'll take Markstrom. I don't love my team. Just throwing it out there right now.
I love my team. I'm going to take another guy who's just fine in the back of the net. Welcome to the team, Bo.
You and Ann are going to have better drafts than me. That's for sure.
I mean,
that Gustafson thing really screwed me.
that one really set you back, eh?
Yeah, that's the one that's going to hurt me. There we go. So round 8, Markstrom, Robert Thomas, Matthew Tkachuk. You know, hey, that time of him coming back is getting closer and closer. Brandon Montour, Bo Horvat, Tomas Hertl. Strong pick there. Probably should have taken him over Mishkov. Sider, Sergachev, Wedgwood, Nyes, Heiskanen, Hellebuck round out round 8. Looking at round 9, Linus Olmark, Jackson Lacombe, Travis Konechny. Anthony takes Spencer Knight, Anthony Stolars, Brady Tkachuk, JJ, who's coming back soon, JJ Peterka, Jet Greaves, Dylan Holloway, Shea Theodore, Brian Rustin. I am back on the clock to make a pick I don't love.
Oh, you can't hate your team that much yet.
I can. Oh, I can, and I will.
This is good practice.
Yeah, I'm going to take Vinny Trocheck here. And
all right, well, that's my fault for thinking you would let him slip.
No. I wasn't letting him go another time. You know what? Let's look at the defensemen that are available at this point. All right, give me Seth Jones. Then Timo Meyer, Pyotr Kochekov, Pavel Dorofiev, who got off to a blazing start this year. Chris back on the clock here as we are in the middle of round 10. Jesper Wallstead, good pick there. Hughes, John Carlson, Eric Carlson. So we got back-to-back Carlsons. I know who I want on my next pick, and if he gets taken before it gets back to me, I'm going to be very mad. A lot of defensemen going here. A little sea of green there. A lot of defensemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of the last 10 picks were defensemen. Teams starting to fill out the blue lines here.
Yeah, even a quarter way into the season, Adam gets caught behind the green wave.
That's what happened. I mean, listen, I've got Morrissey, Hughes, and Jones, so I'm okay.
You're okay.
I got ahead of it. I'm okay with that. There goes Cam Fowler. I won't be making that mistake. UC Saros, Alexander Keeshan, Chris on the clock here. Don't take my guy. I will be
all right. I'll try not to. At
least we're moving along here. What we got about 5 rounds to go.
Oh, gonna do it anyways.
You didn't take the guy I wanted. That's fine.
Okay.
God!
There it is. He got quarter way in, and we got it, Adam. Adam disappointment. Oh man.
Fine. I'll take the other guy. The other guy instead, Oscar Alvo. As long as I got one of them. I really want the Dostal. I think he's got a strong case for the Vezina this year. All right. Yeah, we got to start getting some forwards and just going here. A little Drake Batherson. Why not? Riley, Thomas Shabbat. I've got my goalies. Got a couple rounds to go here. Moving along. Devin Taves has been Kiefer Sherwood. I like that pick by you.
Been hanging around there. I didn't think he'd go out there and start scoring goals.
Ant gets his guy Nazem Kadris. He's back on the clock here. Look at all this green in rounds 10, 11, and 12. I'm glad I had my 3 out of the gate. There goes Malkin, McTavish, Hyman, Slavkovsky. Quentin Byfield, Gabe Velarde, Sean Monahan, and I'm back on the clock. Brock Faber.
That's where I was lining up.
He seems to have taken back over that top defenseman spot there.
He did. If he has Zev William, he might be crying a little bit.
You know what? Talk about Islanders that have been producing. Give me Matthew Barzal. Wow.
Oh, that's good. Talking about defensemen who have been producing, terrible team, but at least he's not specifically the problem. I take Rasmussen.
He was what, player of the week last week, wasn't he?
He is what Mackenzie Weegar should be.
It's funny, yeah, because last year was the other way around, and now they have flipped.
Now they've gone down their different paths. Good for them. Except,
I mean, the team's still overall terrible, but I mean, it's like 6 of one, half a dozen of another, essentially. But there goes Steven Stamkos, who will be a prime trade deadline candidate. And on the clock here, he got his guy Will Cooley last round, Evgeny Malkin and Nazem Kadri and Brad Marchand the rounds before that. So what Ant does, he just comes to the table, the lunch pail, has a good draft. Justin Falk, Mikhail Granlund, Pavel Buchnevich, Carter Verhaeghe with Chris back on the clock here.
every part of me pains me to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway.
For Chris Carter, a good one. I noticed that you're not taking Alexis Lafreniere probably in this draft.
Alexis Lafreniere just refuses to score. I wish he cared as much as I do, but we're not there yet.
I'm going to get my last defenseman, and you guys should all know me well enough to know who I'm taking here, Phil Bronick.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Sam Dickinson.
I don't know. That's when I get really, really frustrated. I'm going center here. It's just, who do I want to take? All right, give me Fantilli. Maybe. Oh, I want to make sure there's nobody else I'm missing. Nobody I'm overlooking. Give me him. There goes Freddie Anderson, Joey Decord, Thatcher Demko. So goalie's going. Trevor Zegras, Jakob Dobes, Samuel Montembeau, Karel Vejmelka, and Ant back on the clock here with his last pick. I'm impressed. There was a good pace. I don't love my two picks in the middle with Mishkov, Gustafson, but other than that, I actually end up liking my team.
I think you're just a little bit too hard on it to start.
All right, so we got through that one pretty quickly here. Let's bring up the draft board here. I guess I'll go first on the draft recap. So started off with a good 1-2 punch that wouldn't have looked all that different at the 12th pick, a few months ago. Nylander, Hughes, Leo Carlson in the third round. That was a guy I was taken towards the back few rounds of the draft that has played his way up and in dynasty leagues for sure has increased his value there. Gustafson is where I, choked right there. Maybe I'm looking at a Tage Thompson or an Adrian Kempe or a Lane Hudson, especially with him falling behind Wallstead. And then, Chris ended up grabbing him later. So that kind of ruined me maybe getting the wild handcuff there. No problems with Morrissey, Jarvis there. Mishkov was a little bit of I don't know what else to do here. So I'm going to do that. And Markstrom, because I needed to get somebody that's going to play on a winning team, even without Hughes, to go with Gustafson since he's not getting the lion's share of the starts anymore. Vinny Trocheck there, got some, he was a guy that was also inexplicably going towards the latter part of drafts, got him in the 9th round. Seth Jones rounding at the blue line. Yaroslav Askarov, man, like another guy that at drafts a couple of months ago was, one of the later goalies off the board. Now going in round 11, probably could have gone even earlier than that there. Dostal and Askarov, you can make an argument, could have gone before a few other goalies taken. Saros, Binnington, Stolars, Olmark, just to name a few. Batherson's fine. It's not a sexy pick, but I'm not going to hate it. Brock Faber and Philip Hronek there rounding out my blue line in rounds 13 and 15. Barzal going exactly, where he was in drafts, but probably a little bit of a good value pick there. And then Fantilli in the last round, why not? So don't hate my team, don't love it, but ended up rebounding nicely with once I got Markstrom.
I don't think it's that bad.
I get Gustafson and my pick was kind of but we'll see. Maybe that ends up not being that big of a deal later on. But nonetheless, I'm all right with that. Now, Chris, let's do your team. Let's go right to left here.
Absolutely. Listen, Macklin Celebrini, when you're second in the NHL in scoring, that puts you in the first round. Because this is a quarter way through, I think he will maintain it. Connor Bedard, the same thing as well. These two, like the kids are here. They're here and they're ready to take the league by storm. So I was perfectly fine with getting behind those. Rasmus Dahlin, I mean, one of the top defensemen. I'm still going to take that. I get to pair him with Tage Thompson. I mean, I didn't think I'd see this day. Maybe it's because we did a quarter way through, and maybe it's because the robots don't know me. But you shouldn't let me get Rasmus Dahlin and Tage Thompson in the same draft. That's not fair. Adam Fox, Jake Sanderson. You know, I still need guys who could block shots, generate offense. Sanderson seems to be the guy in Ottawa now, even if Thomas Chabot's healthy. Dylan Gunther, I need some offense. Why not? Bo Horvat has been scoring goals at a really high pace here for the Islanders. And I don't know if there is any merit to thinking he could be a part of Canada's Olympic roster, but he is making a very strong case that he at least deserves to have his name mentioned. So I appreciate that. Jet Greaves, he is the starter in Columbus. Columbus is going to figure it out at some point. Elvis Merzlikins started yesterday. He does not look good. This is Jet Greaves' crease. The quicker the quicker the Jackets figure it out, the better they will be. I took Jesper Wallstedt here. I believe in his hype right now. I think at worst it becomes a 50-50 split, but it's going to be up to Philip Gustafsson to steal starts away from Jesper Wallstedt now because he's earned that split there. I took Jack Hughes here. I could put him on IR, and I mean, it's a cut, right? Maybe, I don't know, he'll be just fine. He seems to be living the best life, though. Apparently, he's out, having dinner with Tate McRae. I mean, not all heroes wear capes, but Jack Hughes is living the life. We just need to make sure that cut heals perfectly. Kiefer Sherwood, we knew in a banger league what he could do, but now he's also putting in like offensive numbers, so that feels like a cheat code. Andrei Svechnikov, I feel like I got him a little bit at a discount here. Brutal start to the season. There were some rumblings that maybe he was, he wanted to be traded if his usage was going to be fine. Seems to be okay. He's back up on the top line. Everybody is forgiven. Rasmus Sanderson, again, he's what Mackenzie Weegar should be. Chris Kreider, absolutely hate the pick, but listen, he's part of that Anaheim team that's scoring goals at a high level. He's on the power play. He's doing what Chris Kreider does. He hasn't ran into a goalie just yet. Give it time, but he's doing his part. Trevor Zegras, speaking of new players and new places, the move to Philadelphia has been good for Trevor Zegras. He's racking up points. He is exactly the player that the Anaheim Ducks thought he could be. Shame he can't do it in Anaheim, but he's doing it in Philadelphia on a team that is not very good offensively. So if I'm getting that kind of value way at the end of the draft, I'll take it.
All right. And you're up here with another rock solid draft the way you always put them together.
Yeah, Nathan McKinnon couldn't fall to me at 4. So I decided to take the other two best players on Colorado right now, Cale Makar, Martin Necas. Philip Forsberg, that was an auto pick. I mean, you could do worse, but you could do a whole lot better. That's for sure. After that, I feel like I kind of nailed Elias Patterson, Morgan Geekie, Cutter Gauthier, who's on my team right now, Matthew Schaefer. All these guys are having good seasons. Then I did like to do my little back-to-back on goalies, Scott Wedgwood, as well as Spencer Knight. They've been playing well. Neil Pionki's on my team, so comfort of knowing some of the guys that are on my team right now. Then after that, Brad Marchand, who's kind of had a renaissance here in Florida. Nazem Kadri, I like to pick some of my guys. He's had a good season, probably one of the best offensive players on Calgary right now. Evgeny Malkin's having a great year so far. Will Cooley's probably one of the best players on the Rangers, and then ended it off with Justin Falk and is it Dan Vladar or Vladar? Vladar. What he's doing with Philadelphia right now, I think is pretty commendable, and I thought he'd be a good third goalie for me. So it was either him or go with Hits in Ratko Gudas, but I take Vladar right there.
A lot of teams that have the 3 goalies here, it's an interesting mix of the 3, that's for sure, across the board. Good job on the draft there all around. But yeah, we figured Thanksgiving week we'll give you picks. Let's do a check, and we'll get one of these again. Probably at the end of the year, around New Year's, and then maybe one more as we get closer to the 3/4 way point of the season. So that does it for that. There we go. We gave you picks from all 15 NHL, well, not all of them. We ran through all 15 NHL games tomorrow. We do wish that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Now, what's coming up here on? Let's start with Subway to Shea. We had the Mets make the trade this week. How do we feel about Marcus Semien for Brandon Nimmo?
Well, I mean, Simeon's 35 years old, but the Mets are trying to get more defensive, run prevention, understand the trade. It sucks to lose a fan favorite like Nimmo, but, watching him every day, you could start to see the body, the wear and tear on him. Eventually, he's going to be a DH at some point because, he can't really man left field or the outfield much pretty longer. And I even said it during the offseason when they were talking about breaking up the core. I said the biggest move you could probably do is to get out from that contract, which was going to go up to 2030, and they figured out a way to do it. They only have Marcus Semien for 3 years. So it's not just for now, but it's for the future as well. So the team can build. We did a show at midnight on Sunday and had 300 people in the room. So,
Wow.
Shout out to everybody wanting to talk about Brandon Nimmo. Appreciate everyone being a part of that.
That fired up the fan base, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right, so then we got that. Now, Slapshot Podcast. What was this week's episode?
This week's episode will be tomorrow, since I am MIA this weekend because I have commitments in real life. Player profile. I'm not going to tell you which player, and we're going to break down. The Montreal Canadiens brought in some help for their trip here. Yes, Alexander Texier joined the Montreal Canadiens. I'll tell you if he is actually worthy of something. And a young defenseman finds his way onto the blue line. He isn't here just to sit around and keep the bench warm. We'll find out if Engstrom is the real deal, and whose spot he could be taking.
Very intriguing. Looking forward to that dropping tomorrow on Wednesday, or if you're watching this on a Wednesday for the Slapshot Podcast, might be live right now. And then, of course, Rip and Riff with myself and at Mr. Jared Moore. Latest episode dropped this past Monday, talking football, hockey. And this week we discussed the most irresponsible characters on The Simpsons. I'm sure there's some names you can already guess that are going to be there, but we really did a nice breakdown of it. I'll leave you with this, though, before we get out of here. So I'm going to my second Sharks game of the season on Monday against the Utah Mammoth. Now, I'm going solo, and I'm doing that on purpose because last year I noticed that the SAP Center has some rows that are a single-seat row. I asked my ticket rep last year. He's like, oh, no. Those seats are all go at the beginning of the year. They're all gone. When they came up for this year, I said, find me a game I can do that. So I am going to live out every introvert sports fan's dream of sitting in a single-seat row to watch the Sharks play the Mammoth on Monday night. I will have pictures. I'll tweet it out. I cannot wait to not have to get up when somebody has to get out of the row. I can go and come as I please. Oh, I cannot wait.
I want a picture of the seat, like the actual seat. I want to see that.
So it's one of those sections on a corner where like it kind of tapers down, and then once you get to a certain point, it gets fun. So
yeah,
I'm very excited.
Listen, he still loves his kids. Obviously, he's still really happy that he went. That you went with your daughter.
I took my daughter, and that's fine. We had a great. She's going 3 more times this year. Okay, well, she's going to go on New Year's Eve afternoon.
Let dad sit in his seat by himself and drink his beer and who was it? The Mammoth? Well, I mean, that's a good show, though.
Yeah, it might be a good game. I had a good game about a week ago.
You get to see a lot of young talent.
And your daughter met, what was it, Sharky? On the first game?
First game?
That's awesome for her.
I try and make it. It was her first game of the season. She went to a couple last year. We're going to go. So we went last Saturday. We're going to go on New Year's Eve because they have an afternoon puck drop at 1:00 local against the Wild. We're going to go as a family in January. I forget the date against the Stars. And then in March, we're going to go when they play the Flyers. Another Saturday afternoon puck drop. 2
quick questions. Do they have Canadian Molson?
Yes.
And okay, got to get one of those and cheers to that. And then 2, what is the good food there? Is there any good food there or you eat out?
So it depends on who I go with. A couple of buddies, there's some good restaurants right around the area, the SAP Center, that you go and get some food and hang out and have a good time. But you're going with a kid, sometimes it's just easier to get the food at the arena. They do a good job of rotating out in and out the foods every year. Like last year, they had this Hawaiian stand that was fantastic. The pork there, listen, it's not Kahlua pig from Hawaii, but for arena Kahlua pig was very good. So yeah, so the food there's a lot of decent food options there. You're not hurting for good stuff. So going to that on Monday, I'll definitely update all the fellas and everybody else that's watching. And but that's Thanksgiving, folks. We got it. We'll be back with you next Thursday, 12/4, 5 o'clock Eastern time. Back in our usual spot. We're at Fuzzy91 and at Ant Rivera 86. I am at Pucking Thoughts Adam Bernard. Be back with you next Thursday with an all new episode of Total Hockey Now. Turn the Total Hockey Now channel. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you win your picks. Hope you tail us.